there's 4 bell choirs here, and I don't know all these people. There's about 50 of them, so it's nice. Welcome. I'm so happy to see this crowd. When you organize something like this, you say either we're going to have a lot of people or we're not going to have anyone. And so this is great. You guys know how to spell community, and that there's unity inside of community, right? You know that? And that's what we have here, which is great. And in this time period of our lives right now, it just seems like we need this kind of spirit of everybody coming together, listening to great music, and honoring the whole sense of being a community. My name is JoAnn Koltyk. I'm actually an anthropologist and a musician and a piano teacher and a member of the McDowell Music Club. And it's the McDowell Music Club that's sponsoring this concert today. We're over 117 years old. If anybody would like to join the McDowell Music Club afterwards, come and see me, because we'd love to have some new members as well and help to promote music throughout the community. Today we have 4 different bell choir groups, and putting the program together, I thought it was great. Just about Thursday, I said, I'm putting it out in press, and somebody said, we need to make changes. So we made those changes, and now we're going to have to make some more changes. The first group to play will be the Alleluia Ringers, which I had down as number 3, and we have to let them go first because there's been an emergency in the family, so we're going to hear them first. And then everything else stays about the same. Just, anybody know how old handbells are and where they originated? Okay, try the 16th century BCE, because before the Common Era. Bells were first discovered in China. Handbells, the earliest bells. It's China, that's great, isn't it? And then they traveled over to India, where handbells were venerated for their sound and their appearance, and they were sometimes in the shape of a world lotus, which talked about the issue of, you're made out, lotuses grow in the mud, and out of the mud comes this beauty. And we have the same myth and in our Genesis, where we're made from dust and blown life into. The Buddhists spread the Indian-shaped bell over East Asia and into Japan in the 6th century, and it's in Japan that we start getting accompanying singing to the bells. And handbells were also indigenous to Africa, and used as religious rites. In ancient Egypt, back in the 8th century BCE, used in temple rites. The Hebrew Bible talks a lot about handbells in various passages in the Old Testament. Priests wearing bells on their garments. And then we don't get handbells, or we don't even get the legalization of bells in Christianity till the 4th century AD. And that is because then Emperor Constantine made Christianity the official religion, so then we could shout with our bells. We don't see bells in the towers until almost the 10th century with Charlemagne. And it's interesting how the bells then are moving from east to west. By the Middle Ages, we have the chiming bell towers, and everybody remembers Hunchback of Notre Dame swinging from those different ropes and making all that noise. Well, people would have to practice their bell part up in the drafty towers. Each person would have a bell rope, and that was kind of difficult. So they decided, let's create handbells where we can practice the chimes, we can practice the ringing in the bar or the tavern, and then in Sunday service go on up to the bell tower and play. So it's really nice to know the evolution of this process. When the handbells started coming to America, about 1839, they didn't come to the churches. They came as a vaudeville act. P.T. Barnum actually decided to bring over a handbell troupe from England, Liverpool at that, Liverpool. So we know what else came from Liverpool, right? The Beatles. In 1841, he dressed them in Swiss attire and called them the Swiss Ringers. And that's how we start to get the bells moving around the United States. And then from there, in 1895, it was the East Coast, Boston and the New England area where bell choirs formed and started coming into churches, and then also moving into schools and the school music programs. And then we get that shift west then through Pennsylvania on over. So that in the 1950s, I found this was very interesting, over half the handbell choirs in the United States were in Presbyterian churches. But today they're in almost every church. And if you don't go to a church where you have handbells, then you're in for a nice surprise on what they sound like and just the beauty of them. And after this concert, if anybody is interested in joining a handbell group, I have a sign-up sheet out there. A lot of these people have been in groups for a while, or they've been newcomers. They may not have music training or know how to read a note, but they get the training in the bell choir group. So let me know, see me afterwards and sign up and we can see this. This is a tradition that needs to be carried on. Okay. All right, so our first group will be under the direction of Dick Severing, the Alleluia Ringers. It's number 300.